I stood in my own office lobby and watched security drag my mother out as she screamed that I was an ungrateful child. This story is a brutal lesson in how the people who should love you most can become your worst enemies when money is on the line. I promise, if you stay until the end, you'll see exactly how I turned 30 years of being invisible into $1 million empire they never saw coming. But the real question is, how did a girl who was kicked out of her own house for sneezing too loud end up holding all the cards? It started when I was 8. The night my sister Rachel was born, an invisible wall went up. Rachel was the fragile one, the golden one. If I coughed, I was shipped to my grandma's so I wouldn't contaminate her. I got perfect SAT scores. Mom didn't look up from Rachel's schedule. I won national debates. They stayed home for Rachel's JV cheerleading. I was a ghost in a house that only had room for 1 star. While my family was busy celebrating Rachel's C+ grades, I was laying the groundwork for an escape they couldn't imagine. I got a job at a high-end auction house and discovered a hidden talent for authenticating jewelry. I found pieces others missed, Art Deco brooches worth $47,000, missing Cartier necklaces worth millions. I didn't tell them when I started my own firm above a smelly Chinese restaurant. I didn't tell them when I moved to a skyscraper downtown. Every Sunday dinner, I wore a Target outfit over my $3,000 cashmere sweaters. I listened to Rachel brag about her entry-level job while I was closing 7-figure deals with Dubai collectors. I even sent them $7,000 every month anonymously, just to keep them afloat. They thought it was a miracle. I let them believe I was a poverty case eating ramen. But secrets like that have a shelf life. If you're enjoying this story of silent success, hit the like and subscribe button to help us grow. The breaking point happened last Thanksgiving. I hired high-end caterers and pretended I'd saved up for it. Rachel, desperate to prove I was pathetic, snatched my laptop while I was monitoring a Hong Kong auction. She ran into the dining room, screaming for everyone to see what Sarah is really up to. She flipped the screen around to 20 people, expecting to see a failure. Instead, the room went dead silent. The screen displayed an account balance of $12.4 million and a quarterly profit report of $4.2 million. My mother's face went from purple to ghostly white. She didn't say she was proud. She stood up and screamed, "You have millions and you let us struggle?" The aftermath was a hurricane of greed. Within an hour, my phone had 200 messages. They weren't apologies. They were demands. Rachel wanted a $2 million trust fund. My parents wanted a beach house in Florida. They showed up at my office on Monday, clutched their cheap bags, and told me I owed them for raising me. I looked at the mother who had shipped me away every time I was sick. I looked at the sister who spent my anonymous donations on designer clothes while calling me a loser. Right there, in the lobby, I took out my phone. I didn't argue. I just tapped the screen and canceled every single monthly transfer. I gave myself everything, I told them. When they refused to leave, I called security. Watching the people who made me feel invisible being erased from my building's entry list was the best gift I ever gave myself. For the first time, I wasn't the other daughter. I was the boss. And Rachel, if you're watching this on your new authentication page, that Cartier bracelet you're wearing in your latest post, it's a cheap fake, just like you. If you want to see how another family lost everything to their own greed, click the video on the screen now.